It's Thursday, the 19th of November 2020. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Today's headlines. Crown Resorts will have to delay the opening of its Sydney casino at best, and at worst, might be denied a licence. That's our main story. Plus, South Australia implements harsh lockdowns as COVID cases rise. Wages growth falls to its lowest level ever, and insurers could be forced to pay out coronavirus claims. Crown Resorts won't be allowed to open its new Barangaroo casino in Sydney until after an inquiry into its suitability to hold a gaming licence has handed down its final report next February. The New South Wales gaming regulator said allowing it to open ahead of then, it was scheduled to commence operations on December 16, would pose unacceptable risks to the community and be against the public interest. It's a body blow to the casino, which has been controversial right from the start. The inquiry into its suitability has unveiled poor management and governance practices at the gaming group and excessive influence of James Packer through his company Consolidated Press Holdings, which owns 37% of Crown. Earlier yesterday, Crown admitted to the inquiry that it was more probable than not that criminals laundered money through two of its shell bank accounts, a reversal of previous statements. The accounts were set up to handle debts owed by VIP gamblers. The group suspended its shares ahead of the gaming regulator's announcement yesterday. So where to from now? It all comes down to the findings of the Bergen inquiry due for release in February. The Commissioner has already said she wants Crown to show its total commitment to reform. But there's a real chance Crown Resorts won't get the licence to operate a casino in Sydney. In overseas news, Pfizer and BioNTech have released further data from its ongoing coronavirus vaccine study, showing it's 95% effective, and the vaccine protects older people most at risk of dying from COVID-19. That's up from 90% previously. The chief executives of Facebook and Twitter have appeared before the US Senate and come under fire over accusations of political censorship and a failure to control some content. Both CEOs conceded that their platforms needed to better control the spread of misinformation. President Donald Trump has sacked his top cyber security official for defending the integrity of the election. Meanwhile, the Pentagon Chief of Staff has announced a drawdown of US troops in Iraq and Afghanistan to take effect just 5 days before President-elect Joe Biden takes office. And I've spoken before about the return of Bitcoin. Well, its rise continues, and one Bitcoin is now worth more than $18,000, the highest level since 2017. Locally, South Australian Premier Stephen Marshall has announced a 6-day hard lockdown across the state in an effort to get on top of the outbreak of a fast-moving new strain of COVID-19. The restrictions are much tougher than those imposed in Victoria, and the idea is to stop the contagion quickly. Panic buying hit Adelaide yesterday, and retailers announced new restrictions on the sale of some items. Masks are compulsory outside the home, while outside exercise, walking the dog, and outdoor sport is not permitted. Wages growth in Australia has fallen to its lowest level ever, rising just 1.4% during the September quarter, compared to 12 months earlier. For the month of September, wages rose just 0.1%. The Bureau of Statistics blamed the coronavirus pandemic, which has delayed enterprise bargaining agreement increases and triggered job losses. Insurers are facing thousands of claims related to business interruption due to the coronavirus pandemic after the New South Wales Court of Appeal rejected the sector's argument that policies do not cover COVID-19 losses. Throughout the reporting season, the listed insurers have said they were confident that pandemic exclusions would stand, and the Insurance Council of Australia, after the decision, said it would look at options to appeal the decision in the High Court. National Australia Bank was forced to shut down more than 600 branches across the country yesterday after receiving a physical security threat on social media platforms. The bank said it was working with the Australian Federal Police. In the end, it was a hoax. Virgin Australia's new chief executive, Jane Herdlicker, has launched a strategic review of its business class offerings, in-flight Wi-Fi and entertainment, and will close a number of lounges around the country as part of her plans to create a mid-market carrier. More trouble for the Australian Stock Exchange yesterday when the Centre Point trading system, which lets investors transact anonymously, went down. There's been a hitch every day this week. Regulator ASIC is not amused. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. There's more on all of these stories in today's full Fear and Greed podcast, as well as an interview with Stephen Ferguson, Chief Executive Officer of the Australian Hotels Association, about how the industry is coping. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.